Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Simple Transformation TV. I am Stephanie Wilson, your curator and your host, and I am super excited to be sharing today's episode with you. Things I wish I knew before my mommy makeover. It has been, I want to say 12 days since my surgery. I am finally out of the phase and the fog of medicines and all of that, and finally getting back into some normalcy. Yes, I am still at home. I just wanted to make a list. I'm not going to go in any certain order. I just wrote down the things that I wish I knew when they were selling at surgeries. So the first thing, let's go with lifting your arms hurt. So a mommy makeover. A mommy makeover is a breast augmentation and a lift as well as a tummy tuck. Well, that's what I had. So not only do I have implants, but I also have the lift. I have what's called the anchor scar, which is where I have the sutures around my nipple, and then I have the scar going down the breast and then the one underneath the breast. So that's what I had. Then I have the tummy tuck, which is a scar from pelvic to pelvic. Just wanted to clarify that. So lifting my arms hurt. So this is about as high as I can get my arms without them really hurting. And actually earlier today, I cooked breakfast and my daughter had to get, or was that yesterday? My daughter had to get the toaster because it was too far above my head and I can't reach my arms past right here without some type of pain. So that's the first thing that I wish they would have told me. Second thing, coughing. Coughing feels like Braxton Hicks labor pains. And I kid you not. I swear to God. And I mean, right now at the time of recording this is in the middle of the coronavirus. I am so grateful that I don't have it, because if I had to cough incessantly, I probably would be in the ER, because every cough, all the muscles in your stomach, it takes so much to cough. And we take so much for granted, guys. But coughing is like, really, seriously, it's like labor pains because of the scarring and everything. Third thing, bowel movements. Whew. This may be TMI, but I want to tell you the truth about what I wish I knew. My first bowel movement was about 5 days ago. That was about 8 days after surgery. 8 days of no bowel movement, y'all. I thought I was gonna die. I said, take me now, Elizabeth. I'm coming to join you, because this kind of pain was full-blown labor. Those of you that have had children, this is labor with no epidural. This is you just gotta push it out. I took stool softeners after stool softener, but apparently the pain medicine is the reason why I had such pain. But yeah, I felt my whole soul come out. My whole soul came out. It was rough. Next thing is the drains. There are these drains that they put inside of your top pubic area. And it's two. It's one for the left and it's one for the right. And they kind of come up through the surgery because it's draining the blood and it's making sure that there's no swelling and no infection. So I had them in for 7 days, and you have to change the drains, if not twice a day, at least once a day, because they would fill up and your person would have to change them. I went in for my 1 week checkup and they left one in. So they took one out and they left one in because it was still draining and it hadn't met the minimum standard. I had to leave one in. So one drain came out, which was very painful when coming out. And the second drain I just had taken out a few days ago when I went to a checkup. That's very annoying, because when you're trying to shower, you have to hold the drains because there's nowhere for them to go. You can't, which brings me to my next issue. You can't shower alone. You can't shower alone. You can't, let alone stand up. So like for the first 2 days, I didn't shower. And then after the third day, I was able to shower. And I was literally, it was very painful. I was grateful for the shower, but it was just very painful. Which leads me to my next thing I wish someone had told me. I knew I was going to have a small care team, or I knew I was going to have help. But listen to me. Let me get close to the camera. You need a full-time resource for a minimum of 7 days. Had the coronavirus not struck, my daughter would have had to go back to school after the weekend. I had surgery on a Thursday, and she would have had to go back to school that Monday. Y'all, if it had not been for this outbreak, I would have been trying to do this stuff on my own. And I'm telling you, I would not be able to do it. You have to have a full-time somebody that can take off work and that can be with you for 7 whole days. Anything less than that, you run the risk of falling or not cleaning yourself properly. I wish someone had told me that. So I'm very grateful to my daughter. Another thing that I wish I would have known was that I was going to have to keep my legs elevated, that I would have to walk at a 45-degree angle, and that I would have to sleep sitting up for weeks, not days, for weeks. I am well into the 2nd week, going into the 3rd week. I still sleep sitting up. This is my bed. It's just covered. It's just layers of pillows, and this is my neck pillow. So I brace myself. There's a heating pad behind here and everything. I brace myself, sit up against the heating pad. The heating pad control is behind there. I've hidden all that, but this is kind of like my pad. So this is where my phone goes. There's a phone charger, my heating pad charger. This is where I put the remotes. And then over here is where I have my snacks and things like that, the remote. And then like behind here is food and drink. You just can't see it because I've hidden it. But this is where I sleep. Literally. And then my ottoman, which is behind the camera, is where I put my feet up and I pull it close to the couch. So this is my bed. And I miss laying down. But you can't, because you have to walk at a 45-degree angle. So if I have to walk at a 45-degree angle, which is hunched over, I can't stand straight up, how am I going to lay down? You can't. So you can't sleep in your bed. You have to sit and walk at a 45-degree angle. You have to keep your feet elevated and sleep up for weeks. I have no idea when I will be able to sleep in my bed. And I wish I would have known. I just wish I would have known so that I could have mentally prepared for having to sleep straight up, because now I have back pain that I wasn't anticipating having. Another thing I wish I would have known is the frequency in cleaning. I mean, you read the post-op and the pre-op, but reading it on paper and having to do it are 2 different things. First of all, I had to clean myself twice a day. Now, I can't lift my arms, so that means that I can't bend all the way down. I can only bend a little bit. So I can't see underneath my breast to really clean myself. That's why you need the person. The first 8-9 days, it was peroxide. Then you put Aquaphor on it, and then you put these gauze. Like, I can show you a little bit of gauze. Like, there's this little, see that little gauze right there? So you put the gauze and over your breast and over your stomach twice a day. That has to be done twice a day. Then on top of that, you have to wear this garment that has a hook and the private part so that you can go to the restroom. And on top of the garment, you have to wear a 3-section corset. The top of the torso, the middle of the torso, and then the bottom across the scar. So not only are you sleeping sitting up with your feet elevated, walking at a 45-degree angle, you have this super tight corset and garment on all times. There's no time you take it off other than a shower. Wish someone would have told me that I was going to be constricted like a piece of spaghetti, sitting up for weeks at a time. It's just uncomfortable. So that's what I wish they would have told me. A few other things is the doctor visits. You cannot drive on a narcotic. You cannot drive taking Norco. You cannot drive taking Tramadol. These are the medicines that I was given. You can't drive with these. Again, why you need a person for 7 whole days. Go to these doctor's visits, and I mean, you need to go to the doctor's visits, but it's just a frequency that you have to go. I went the day after, then I went 5 days after, then 7 days after, and now it's kind of like every week, sometimes twice a week. And then you can't drive. You don't get back to normalcy until, like, I drove yesterday. I went to follow my daughter to take her car to the mechanic. And when I got back home, I immediately felt it. Just even because you can't sit back. So even driving, I have to sit straight up. and it's just the moving of your legs, and it's just all of that. You just take so much for granted when you don't have to have surgery. So that's a list of things I was trying to get in and get out, but that's just a list. I have no idea how many things that is. Let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Oh, last thing before I go. So there's this thing you have to do. You have to massage your breasts, because there's these things called capsulization. We're not going to edit that out because that's just, I can't say it. But when you put something foreign in your body wants to automatically fight against it and encapsulate it. Well, that's not good for a breast implant. So what I have to do is, I'm actually doing it, but you can't see. So if you look, see how my hair is moving? Look at my hair. My hair is moving. I'm actually massaging the implant up into my upper area. So look at, yeah. So see, look at my hair. And I'm going to do both of them at the same time. Look at my hair moving. So that's me massaging the breast. Guess how much I got to do this? 20 minutes a day right now, every day. So we break it up into 10 minutes because I have to clean how many times a day? 2 times. So I do 10 minutes at the first cleaning, 10 minutes at the second cleaning. But you want to know the most beautiful part? I'm going to have to massage my breast for a minimum of 5 minutes every day for, guess how long? Ding, 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 for the rest of my life. Yeah. Wish somebody would have told me that. It's not that it's a big deal. It's just, it's a different way of life. And I'm used to, changing lifestyles. And I guess that's the message of today's video. It's like, when people say you have these surgeries because you're cheating or whatever. No, I had the surgery because I had skin. Why did I have skin? Because I was obese for so long. Why was I obese for so long? Because I have a food addiction and I have an unhealthy relationship with food. My unhealthy relationship with food led to me having these weight issues, led to me having gastro issues, led to me having hernias, led to me having ulcers, led to me having all these medical issues that forced me to lose the weight. Once I lost the weight, then I had skin to contend with. I still have skin to contend with, guys. There's skin all over my body. There's skin everywhere. Look, skin, skin, skin. It's everywhere. So I chose to have the surgery because my breasts were deflated and I had skin on my stomach. And I don't care what anybody says. Listen to me. Get real close. If you don't love what you see in the mirror, you will struggle your entire life. Write that down. Tweet it. I'd be willing to argue with scientists about it. Why? Because I live it. When you look in the mirror, if you don't absolutely love what you see, you're going to struggle emotionally and sometimes in some areas mentally for the rest of your life. Because how can you love others? How can you receive love? How can you be the purest form of love when you don't even love yourself? You can't. You can't. You can't. I did it because I wanted to love what I see in the mirror. Not just like it. I wanted to love what I see in the mirror. And I wanted to have perky breasts. Oh well. That's why I did it. For those of you that are struggling with the decision to do it, those of you that are wondering what is it like after, I hope these tips have given you a real look into it. And most people ask me, is it worth it? It is absolutely worth it, because I know that when everything heals up and when I'm ready and when I'm back to full functionality, I know that because already I love looking in the mirror and like there are breasts there, not flat. I just love it already. So if I just finish the process, I know I'm going to be excited. Thank you for this episode of spending this time with me for this episode of Temple Transformation TV. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you are safe. I hope your families are safe. And I will see you on the next episode. Wonder what I'll cook up. Bye-bye.